This episode of Comics for Fun and Profit is brought to you by Threadless. More importantly, the Comics Fun Profit shop on Threadless at comicsfunprofit.threadless.com, where you can find, about half a dozen different designs, plenty of Comics for Fun and Profit themed merch. If you just want a t-shirt, you're good, and if you want sweatshirts or other swaggy items, and you can get anything. Phone cases, shower curtains, it runs the gamut. Skateboards, I think. So check that out. We've already sold several. We're excited about the fact that the folks that want to support us in this way are able to and wear our merch out in the real world. That's pretty exciting stuff. So get your Comics for Fun and Profit branded items at comicsfunprofit.threadless.com.
I just know next week there'll be dead silence, and I'll hear crackle, crackle, and you'll go, darn, snickin', rickin', dang, microphone.
Ratchet, fratchet, darn, tootin'. All right, you ready, homie?
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Colin Drew with your sneak peek ad next week, episode number 852 for comics originally releasing September the 26th and September the 27th. Holy crap, September is almost over. But before Drew and I get into what's coming up in your local comic shops this coming Tuesday and Wednesday, Drew, it's a happy time in the world of comics. What you got for me?
So is this like the first day of fall?
I think
tomorrow?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's soup season, baby. Bring on the chilies.
The soup season. Well, our robot overlords this week have done one very near and dear to their hearts, and I'm surprised it took them this long. This is the top 10 robots in comic books.
Oh, snap.
And a little controversy in this, I think, for me, and I'll be curious to see how you do and how you feel about some of these.
Yeah, I'm already doing the cyborgs versus robots controversy in my head.
Well, I think you can blend them all together.
What about AIs? Okay, I'm going to start with this will answer a lot of questions. Jarvis.
No.
Okay, so they're just considering that he's sentient. Gotcha. Let's see here. Let's go with Cyborg.
Cyborg is number 3. Very good. And he's like part human, part machine,
part robot, part human.
So if they're given, I get that. I think that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Iron Man's not a robot, correct?
He's not.
Okay. Ultron.
Ultron is number 1.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Which makes a lot of sense for our robot overlords to give him number 1.
Yeah. They were essentially putting Skynet into this thing. All right. Robots. Man, this is a little more. I'm trying to think of robots in comics. And there's got to be robot sidekicks. Ooh, here's the other question.
Yeah.
Vision.
Vision is number 2.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So you got 1, 2, and 3. Very good. Then it breaks down for me. And I would have probably I might have got those 3 and maybe a couple outside the top 10, but I don't think I would have got any more than that in the top 10.
So what about the other thing I'm thinking of is the X-Men Sentinels.
The X-Men Sentinels. Yes, the Sentinels are not in the top 10.
Okay.
They're outside the top 10. They were 18, but they were on the list.
Are these all big 2, or are we kind of?
Yeah, that's where it gets a little funky. They're not all big 2.
Okay. So are we going? Just because of image, I'm thinking Transformers. Are there any Transformers on this list?
Well, that would have been that there should have been, right? Because there was
it was a Marvel, yeah.
Or not? Whoever had the license before.
Yeah.
Marvel, right? Yeah.
IDW.
So yeah, it should have been.
Marvel than IDW.
One of your favorite game characters of all time comes in.
Mega Man?
Number 5.
There we go.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Mega Man. And I would not. I mean, it was a comic, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It must
100%.
have been a comic.
Same thing like Big Hero 6. Is that dude on there?
I do not think so.
Baymax or whatever his name is.
No, but that Mega Man surprised me.
Yeah, that is very, very, very surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw you a hint. Star Wars.
Oh my goodness, C-3POs and R2-D2s.
Yes, they tied for 6.
Okay, they are one unit.
All right, that's fine.
That's awesome. We don't have like the Iron Giant or anything.
Iron Giant is number 10.
Holy crap! Okay,
right?
Okay.
Like I guess it was a book before it was. I guess it was the book before it was the film.
Yeah.
Or the other way around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you did pretty darn good. At rank 4, they threw the Terminator in here.
Okay.
Because they adapted the movie into a comic book.
Skynet. Okay, Skynet is always going to be here. That's awesome.
Brainiac came in at rank 7.
Okay, yeah, that one I would have never got.
Astro Boy, a classic manga character. The Visionaries, who are a group of robots from the Valiant Comics universe.
Okay.
War Machine, another Brainiac 5, Herbie.
So War Machine is allowed to be on here, but not Iron Man.
Yeah, okay. Right?
Yeah.
Metal Men.
I thought about that.
Metal Men was a good one. I probably would have guessed, but it was outside the top 10. Machine Man, might have grabbed that one. Don't know. Death's Head, Marvel Comics character, robotic bounty hunter with a distinctive design. Red Tornado, that's a good one. That's ranked 17. Rom, the Space Knight.
Oh yeah.
80s Marvel character.
Yes.
And Atomic Robo. Okay, it rounds out the top 20. So those were some reaches, I think, for the top 10. But I would have put some of these outliers higher up. But that's me. And who am I to question our robot overlords?
Absolutely.
Right?
Thank you, robot overlords, for educating us on the ways,
on the history of your people.
That's exactly right. We're telling them what to do is that cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Kyle, I've got the solution to our dreary evenings. We can pop a little Magic Mind and get a little pick me up and still go to sleep, just enough to give us some clarity of mind, a little creativity, get the creative juices flowing, maybe give you one or two before the podcast, to really focus you in. What do you think of that?
You fall asleep during one podcast, and all of a sudden that's your problem.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, absolutely. The worst thing you want to do is, brew a pot of coffee at middle of the night right before a podcast.
Yeah.
Then you're up the entire evening. What you need is good, sustained energy, clarity of mind, not, a jolt of caffeine that hurts your body and all these things. Absolutely. And Magic Mind does all that stuff and has that matcha. I want to talk about matcha, Drew.
Okay. All right.
The green vegetable matcha, that buzzword, that superfood. I didn't think I'd like matcha. I am starting to like matcha, and that's one of the big key ingredients here is that lovely green superfood that has the benefits of all the keeping you goings.
Yeah. And it's cool stuff. It's pricey. Matcha is, but they stick it in this with some great other ingredients, all natural stuff. But you can get it through us with our code. So we want you to check out this Magic Mind elixir. Check this out. It is, go to magicmind.co/comicsfunprofit.
And elixir really is the perfect word for it. It's a nice little elixir. It's very cool. For sure.
If you feel you want to try this out, go to magicmind.co/comicsfunprofit and use our code. You can get 20% off of an initial one-time purchase, or up to 56% off of a subscription. So if this sounds good to you, go to magicmind.co/comicsfunprofit and use our code CFP. You can get up to 56% off your subscription for the next 10 days with the code CFP, or you can just use that discount code CFP at magicmind.co/comicsfunprofit to get 20% off a one-time purchase. Just to sample, dip your toe, check it out.
Yeah, DC Connect. We are looking at it right now, December 2023.
So this is a second month of Beast World, right? We got Beast World last time too, right?
The shape-shifting infection spreads across the DC universe. And, of course, we start with Beast World number 2. But, of course, we're talking a lot of crap here, but our boy Tom Taylor's writing this.
Yeah. I'd forgotten what the premise was, kind of.
Yeah. And so this is this the big
characters
starfish?
turn into animals?
Yeah, it looks like Shazam's a lion here. I don't honestly know.
Was that Black Adam?
Oh, yeah, that was Black Adam's a lion. With beasts rampaging through the streets and a world conqueror on the sky, the Titans must do all they can to save humanity, but as heroes and villains alike are infected. So apparently the beast abilities are an infection.
So basically Tom Taylor is rewriting Deceased and or the other...
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one that was like that?
Oh, yes.
Vampires, DC Vampires... or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just they're gonna milk that sucker until the wheels fall off.
You know, rock it till the wheels fall off. I like it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Beast World 3 also coming out, so we are, coming out bi-weekly here. We get some cool Bjorn Barons covers. So, you and I really like the Bjorn Barons covers, but these are the most subdued Bjorn Barons covers I've ever seen.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like the guys at DC, like they get in a room and they're just, okay, what if all the characters were in zombies? Okay. What if all the characters are vampires? Okay. How about we put them all to sleep? A nightmare. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's turn them into animals. Yeah, that's great. We'll do that too. I mean, these are the dumbest ideas. But they're
new. So I mean,
I guess
that brings up the: do we go wackadoo or do we retread the same tire?
Yeah, you're right. At least they're doing new concepts that we haven't read before ish.
We also have Titans Beast World Tour Central City, Titans Beast World Tour Atlantis. So we are going to specific locations where there's outbreaks to be found.
So okay, but then we're going to do a regular Titans.
Correct. Now we're back to the regular Titans.
Is it a tie-in? Is that a tie-in?
As the world is overrun by beasts, so yes.
Yeah. So they're going to be part of this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. I forgot about that. That's happening.
What is that thing on the cover?
That Mothra?
I don't look. Is that Mothra? Mothra is wicked looking if it is.
I mean, I haven't seen the Mothra movie since I was very, very young, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if that was specifically Mothra, but I was just guessing. Could that be Mothra?
Looks snake-like to me.
With wings.
Yeah. Or just, I don't know, like Cobra Cone. Who knows?
Oh, that's true.
Batman Off-World #2 by Jason Aaron.
Yeah. We must have read about this last month.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at this because I don't know if that's supposed to be like another interpretation of Starfire's sister or just another of her race or what. So, interesting.
Yeah, it looks like more like Tigra from the Marvel side of things.
Kneel Before Zod #1 by Joe Casey.
Okay. That's what the world of comics was clamoring for. More Zod comics. Let's get that Superman villain.
Yeah.
Give him his own book.
But to be fair, you and I have been impressed with villain books in the past, be it the Magnetos and things like that. So, possible.
Yeah, the Joker books and the Riddler, but Zod.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I don't know.
You thought that was out there. Santa Claus Silent Night #2.
Who did the Krampus. Was it Krampus? Who did the Santa Claus books that we like? The Dan Mora.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What were those? Remember those?
Klaus.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah. I do like that lyrics variant cover with Harley on Santa's lap and him tied up.
That is a good one. Is that lyrics?
Wow, we have number 2, number 3, and number 4.
We got to get it out during Christmas
season.
Yeah,
we are.
That makes sense.
We are 4 of 4, yeah, so it is a 4-issue series.
I mean, at least that makes the most sense to me is make that shit weekly during December.
Mm-hmm.
You can't start it early. Nobody cares about Christmas stuff in November.
Yeah.
And you can't have that stuff happening in January and February because that's just embarrassing when you've got Christmas books still coming out.
Yeah. So according to the schedule, Santa Claus Silent Night number 2 comes out on the 12th. No Santa Claus book comes out on the 5th, and one comes out November.
Yeah. All right. Is it at least after Thanksgiving or around the same time?
I don't know. That was on the prior order guide.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Interesting. Santa Claus and the Dark Knight versus Krampus. Bring it on.
Batman 141 with Zur-In-R in there. Zur-In-R, yes. Detective Comics 1079. Still rocking Ram V. I just can't believe he's had such a long run on Detective.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else gets, 6 issues, 12 issues? He's had to be on this thing for 4 years.
Nightwing 109, which I actually very much like that cover.
Oh, yeah. Little murky water that's making the logo. That's kind of cool. That's a Bruto Redondo.
Yeah.
I usually like the majority of his. He throws some stinkers up there, but most of the time, they're pretty good.
Seems to do okay.
So Gotham War is over at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's run its course. So then Catwoman is not part of that. All
right. But we have in Catwoman the return of the Deadly Flamingo.
The Flaming Flamingo?
The Deadly Flamingo.
Oh. I love that Fornes variant. It reminds me of those old school Adam Hughes covers, Catwoman covers.
Too bad it's postage stamp.
Yeah. Batman and Robin hits issue 4.
We get a Santa variant that is a la my Batman and Robin number 1 cover.
They should do tons of those.
Yeah.
All month long.
Because it's got the sled in the background. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Look at that Poison Ivy cover.
Is she Praggers?
Mm-hmm.
At least in one cover she is. I guess the rest of the cover artists did not get the memo on what was going on inside.
Yeah. Man, those are some cool 1 in 25 and 1 in 50 covers too on Harley. Man, those are pretty rad.
On Harley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sweeney Boo's got the main cover. That's pretty cool.
Outsiders 2, Birds of Prey 5, Penguin 5,
Batman 89 and Superman 78. What issues are they on? 3? No, 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Superman 9. World's Finest 22. Action with Constantine, Etrigan, and Bloodwind.
I know Constantine, and that's it.
Yeah. Etrigan's that demon that talks backwards.
Action comic. Oh, this one's getting an annual. A $6 annual by Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Annual number 1. Not really number 1, but
yeah.
I guess it's the first one in 23, so. You know what they got to do? They got to put legacy numbers on annuals now.
There we go.
I got to see. I'd like to know.
It's the 100th annual.
How many annuals? And then when we get to the 25th annual of that character,
an extra $2.
We can add a couple of bucks, make it super sized. That's it, man. I could get a job in marketing for.
Yes, you could.
See.
Wonder Woman 4, Amazon's Attack 3.
Oh, I still got to read that. I haven't read that yet.
Flash number 4 with a little starburst on here that says, we have a new character alert, The Resident.
It's the worst graphic design starburst I've ever seen.
Not their strongest work. Speed Force 2.
They might do this on Microsoft Publisher. They might lay this and paginate this entire magazine on Microsoft Publisher because it looks similar. I can see some stuff in there.
Jay Garrick, The Flash 3 with a garbage cover A, but that 1 in 25 is kind of neat. Yeah, so
you can't really tell.
Yeah, so this Jay Garrick, The Flash, Wesley Dodd, The Sandman, Alan Scott, The Green Lantern are all part of the new Golden Age. So these are the new old books.
Yeah, I'm guessing Justice Society old school too. Looks like it. Yeah, but that's Wonder Girl.
It's not labeled.
Or Power Girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not labeled in the new Golden Age.
Green Lanterns. Power Girl. Ooh. Gary Frank. Blue Beetle. I still haven't read that first issue yet.
What?
Just sitting there, ready for me.
Cyborg, Green Arrow, Hawk Girl, Shazam, Teen Titans. This is the world's finest Teen Titans, but this is not a Golden Age retread.
That's an interesting interpretation of Harley Quinn from Jenny Frison.
She does good work.
Yeah, it makes her look a little less crazed, a little more just girl about town.
Yeah, but a little too much nostril for me.
Too much nostril. Oh. Yeah, it looks like she has a boogie.
Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries #1, starring my boy Nightwing.
And a Teen Titans #1 facsimile.
I love this book.
It's a good-looking book.
Yeah, I have a couple of them.
Such a great-looking book.
Shout out to George Perez.
Yes, for sure. Year 1, Part 1, Frank Miller, Mazzucchelli's Batman 404 facsimile.
And then 405 facsimile, and 406 facsimile, and 407 facsimile.
So if you don't want the year 1 trade, and you don't want to pay for the originals, you can get the original floppies with all the fun house ads and stuff inside.
Yep.
And read it that way. Kind of fun. I mean, you're only paying $3.99 each. That's not too bad.
Yeah. So that came out in 1987.
Yeah, remember it well.
Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor. Peacemaker Tries Hard, gets collected.
Such a good book.
And lots of other volumes.
I collected all the Night Terror stuff that I skipped.
And finally, on page 47, we're into the postage stamps of the ongoings.
Are we? Are those trades too?
Oh, they are trades too. Well, okay, so Batman Neo Gothic 6 isn't. Danger Street 12 isn't.
Okay.
So we have 3 postage stamps, and now we're back to collecteds.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a weird thing. If you're those 3 books, you cannot feel good about yourself.
No. So interesting. We've got officially licensed hybrid trading cards from DC. Collect unforgettable artwork. It runs the gamut from like really modern looking cover art to retro and classic stuff. Purchase your packs now from hro.gg from select retailers like Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, Zavvi. Scan your physical cards using the HRO mobile app and unlock their digital twins. Oh, that's the hybrid part.
So is this NFTs again, or
so you get a real card and you can also scan one of a digital copy. That's interesting.
Okay. Not a bad way to end the year.
No, let's do that. I guess that's not too bad. Hopefully, Beast Wars is fun. I kid DC because I love, but it does seem like you're going back to the well. But all right, that's fine.
They're all going to be fish here soon.
Yeah, we did animals. Now let's do insects.
Yes.
Time for a break from our show to pay the bills. Check out beacons.ai/comicsfunprofit for all the C4 FAP links you could ever need, all in one place. You can provide feedback, listen, support, share, enjoy these. We have our Patreon there. You can buy us a beer or a coffee. You can check out our Instagrams, our Twitters, our Facebooks. Check out our YouTube page. You can email us. You can listen to our podcasts on Patreon, if you're a subscriber, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on Podbean. We have Google Podcasts on there. We have an Amazon wish list. You want to buy Kyle and I something? Fine. You can do that here. We appreciate it. We have Kyle's RPG podcast listed on there, so you can check out his Dork Day Afternoon offerings. We have Cowabunga links, so you can check out the Cowabunga Deep Discount FOC and pre-order list. Get on that. That's RLCS, so you can check that out as well. And we want to just give you opportunities to say hi, to check out what we're doing, support us if you would like, or just listen. Check out beacons.ai/comicsfunprofit for all the C4 FAP links you could ever need. Thanks. Back to the show.
All right, Drew, I'm going to take you over to Cover Price with me, and let's look at some some secondary market items. And we've got some new stuff at the top, Drew. The number one book is Heart Attack #1, an Image Comics book.
Ah, cool.
This book has an interesting premise. In a post-pandemic world, Americans have been saved from the disease, but that has led to a rise in folks with powers, and the government has no idea how to handle them. It hits a bit close to home as the world dealt with this issue firsthand, albeit with no powers to speak of. That might be why this book has faded into obscurity until it was announced the series would be getting a live-action treatment. Fuji TV is set to develop a live-action series, with filming to begin in Tokyo at the end of the year. That has immediately brought this book into the spotlight, with community members scouring the aftermarkets and back issue bins for copies. It's still a cheap book out there for those on the hunt. 42 copies on the secondary market, a high sale of $140 for a pre-sale 9.8 copy, and current raws at $8.
Fuji TV.
Yes, Fuji TV. And this is a 2019-2020 book.
I remember Heart Attack. Okay. Yes, that was okay. It was all right.
The question is, do you remember our number 2 spot book, Spawn #1?
Yeah, we're going to ride this.
Spawn #1 is the most popular book of all time, routinely appearing on these lists, and our year-end bestsellers report saw a resurgence when the Toddfather announced at San Diego Comic-Con that Spawn would be getting a new series. He also confirmed that the new Spawn movie is still in the works. That was until Jamie Foxx suffered an unspecified illness, casting doubts on the project. Spawn needs a slight shot in the arm, and received that in spades when it was leaked that a slew of new skins were coming to Call of Duty Warzone. That's right. 38 copies sold. High sale of $170 for CGC 9.8. Raw Nairman's $29.
So did we link Jamie Foxx to playing Spawn?
Yes, at one point that was the plan.
Oh, okay.
At rank 3, we have Spider-Man 2099, Volume 1, Issue 1. We've got one Across the Spider-Verse, waiting for the next Across the Spider-Verse, but that's been good enough. This is, of course, not the first appearance, but the one that people are buying. 31 copies, $151 for CGC 9.8. Your Matt Rawls, $20. Venom Lethal Protectors, Volume 1, the regular book. This book always moves well in the aftermarket. It's the first Venom-centric solo story, and it has an awesome cover, and can be quite challenging to acquire in a high grade thanks to the Flaw highly shiny cover. The Flaw highlightingly shiny cover, aka shiny covers show flaws. Still, it's never been a pricey book. Yet, along with 26 copies on the secondary market, the most recent mega sale of a $3,600 for a CGC 9.9 Drew has launched this book. 9.8 is currently trending at $128, and near mint raw's $18.
Okay.
That's why you send your books in, just in case you get that 9.9, Drew.
Yeah. Makes sense.
At rank 5, Wolverine 36, the Ryan Stegman regular cover. Just imagine being in a creative meeting behind this book. You're bouncing ideas off one another, and someone has a light bulb go off. What if we combine Wolverine and the Spirit of Vengeance? Boom. You have this book, the first appearance of Helverine. Yes, that's a mouthful. And arguably one of the most powerful entities in all of comics. Wolverine already had a hell of a stink eye. Add the penance stare to that, and hot damn, you have a hot book. Fans have been snagging this book from their LCSs since it dropped, and now have turned to the aftermarket. 26 copies, $24 for Rawls already. You can get them for set. $24 was the high. You can get them for about $12. And at 6, Magic Order number 1, the Olivier Coipel regular. Some may remember this book from 2021 when Netflix announced an adaptation was in development. Then silence. And sales for this book, also silence. The momentum just died, despite a killer hook of 5 families of magicians protecting the world and the Mark Millar name attached. But no longer has Netflix let the world know that shooting for the series would begin in mid-November. Cue a big run on this book, as it is firmly under the spotlight yet again. Keep in mind that there's a long period between shooting and a finished product. 20 copies on the secondary market, $120 for CGC 9.8s, and near mint's $11. Oh, here we go, Drew, at rank 7, Void Rivals.
Yeah.
Which cover is this one? I have 2 copies of that one. Yes, this is my copy. Void Rivals has appeared on this list in some form or another over 15 times since it was released. None of them was this awesome cover A from Lorenzo Del Felice. Often we see exclusive variants or high ratio books dominating cover A, and the same was true for this book. Now the roles have reversed as fans seek out this introduction to the shared universe Robert Kirkman is building with a new Transformers run debuting next month under the Skybound banner. Collectors have been eager to pick up copies of this book on the aftermarket for cheap. 19 copies sold, $40 for a CGC 9.8. Holy crap. $40 for a CGC 9.8. Take me to eBay, and just $4 for your near mints. So this book isn't making money. Anyways, rank 8, Dazzler 1, Will She or Won't She, Taylor Swift, 26 copies, $250 for a 9.8, $11 for Very Fine. At rank 9, Immortal X-Men 1 in 25, Joshua Sway Swaby, number 15. This is the Emma Frost cover, $65 for a raw is the high sale. About $53 for near mints if you're looking, so about double ratio. So just for a really good Emma Frost cover. And X-Men 130, the other Dazzler cover. This one's been even more tough to get. $469 for a CGC 9.6 and $98 is what you're going to pay for a fine copy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
At rank 11, we have Sonic the Hedgehog's 900th Adventure number 1. Cover R1, 1 in 50.
Yeah.
So Sonic is celebrating 900 adventures, and everyone is all for it. Is that like his 900th issue?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. That's their way of saying legacy numbering.
I'm sorry, I got some music coming in for some reason.
That's their way of doing legacy numbering.
Oh, I gotcha.
And the RI stands for retail incentive cover.
Oh, gotcha. Creepshow Volume 2, number 1 comes in at rank 12. It's a connecting 1 in 10. There's 26 copies of this sold with a high sale of 15 for a raw. Interesting. Another interesting. What was the Sonic selling for? Oh, it's okay. The retailer incentive was a high sale of $250 for a raw, and near mints around $155 because there's only 2,500 of them or so. Gotcha. Rank 13, we have Amazing 365, which is the real first appearance of Spider-Man 2099. I don't know what this means about this preview stuff, but isn't it like
a whole story in there. So I would say,
yeah, you have it's like 12. Didn't we decide it was like 12 pages of them plus speaking roles and everything? And they're like, maybe it's not his first appearance.
Yeah, I mean, like the guys that used to claim, well, actually, if you get the previews catalog, you have the first appearance of that person on the cover in the ad. And I'm like, well, that doesn't count. That's stupid. But this counts. This counts. So, yeah, Amazing 365 definitively is the first appearance of 2099. So for all you out there that are doubting it, please stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Web of Spider-Man, Volume 1, Number 1, Black Suit Spidey, on the cover, 14 copies sold, high sale of $139 for a CGC 98, Raws around $29. Moon Knight number 1, back on the list at rank 15. 22 copies of this sold with a high sale of $405 for a CGC 98.
Just a cool looking book.
Current Raws around $35. Seems way down, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing really going on with Moon Knight, so it's settled a bit.
But it's dropped. I mean, it feels like it's dropped quite a bit.
Yeah, it has, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wolverine number 1 comes in at rank 16. We sold 22 more copies of this book for $414 for a CGC 98. Raw's around $56. Ultimate Fallout 4, the first Miles Morales. It's still doing pretty well. 18 copies moved. High sale of $16.80 for a CGC 98. Raw near mint's around $432. New Mutants 98. First Deadpool. We sold 13 copies of this with a high sale of $550 for a CGC 96. Raw near mint's around $400. Uncanny X-Men 266 comes in at rank 19. And this is first Gambit-ish, along with X-Men Annual 14. We moved 17 copies of this. High sale of $825 for a CGC 98. A Raw near mint around $148. In rank 20, we have Marvel Age 98 with the Toxic Avenger on the cover, which is an interesting trend of grabbing these old Marvel Age covers.
Toxic Avenger's going to be a thing.
No, it might be. High sale of $207 for a Raw, and a current near mint Raw around $30. That's weird that one Raw sold for $200 and the other, but they're averaging $30.
That's cray.
Yeah,
this must have been a nice Raw.
Somebody got ripped. I believe it might be FOC time.
Yes, and we're going to do our best to find the multiple parts of the FOC and put them all together. But you know where you can always find all your FOCs in one place? That's if you get a really cool list of FOC items from your LCS. We have an awesome LCS, Cowabunga Comics, Deep Discount Comics. Every Friday evening, they send me an awesome list of all the books on FOC for reordering purposes. It's like they know me and just say, hey, if I throw this to Kyle, he can't help himself, and you got to order things.
He cannot help himself.
Yeah. So this list has everything in order, prices ready to run down. A little too easy, if you ask me. But you and I are going to try to decipher where on lunar distributions the 5 lists are and where Previews has tried to bury them because they're not speaking anymore. But we'll figure it all out.
I think it's the 24th is all the DC deadlines, and the 25th is everybody else, but might not be. I don't know.
And then when we go to Previews, some of these will be in there as well. So we may talk about something a second time, but let's start with some of our DC-centric items, including Batman Day coming up.
Yeah. And World's Finest 20 with a Bjorn Barons. Pretty cool cover.
That is.
Like a Batman v Superman cover from the movie, like almost. Chrissy Zula continuing to do her childish
weird
covers.
Trick or Treat variants. Yeah, they're creepy.
I don't hate them, but I don't know that they have the same. They're gonna have the same staying power as a Scotty Young.
Yes, a Scotty Young they are not.
Catwoman 58's got some great covers, including Gabrielle Dell'Otto that I really like.
I like that Sway Swabby again.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it black and white?
Yes.
That's interesting choice. That wasn't even a sketch cover. That was a regular one.
Mm-hmm. Harley Quinn, black, white, and redder, number 4. Kind of boring covers. I expected more.
Yeah, they're not great. Nothing wrong with them, but
Jay Garrick, the Flash, number 1. We talked about this earlier, but this is these Golden Age DC Redux stuff.
I'll be really curious how they do.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I mean, I think the diehard DC people will get these. I'm curious if there's anybody else that's going to want any of this.
Mm-hmm. And here's the big dog, Drew. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, number 1.
That's the big dog, huh?
That's right. You want kaiju, you want Godzilla, you want the Justice League. Of course you do. And they're all here.
Plenty of fun Nightwing covers. He's a pirate.
Yeah.
And Chrissy Zulo made him a little kid on a garbage pail.
Yeah, that's the best one of those I've seen.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. Lee Bermejo doing a Superman.
That is a good Lee Bermejo Superman.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Titans 4 has the Titans playing D&D. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Couldn't tell. Where is that? Oh, what they're doing?
Well, that or they're playing something else with a D20 and figurines.
Ah, okay. Yep, I gotcha. All kinds of Wonder Woman covers. All pretty solid.
Yeah. That one in 25 is pretty good. That Alvaro Martinez.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Not a single... Oh, wait, we got to go to the other. Almost.
25.
After you just told me what to do. You just told me.
We are now in Image and Top Cow. There's Antarctica, Big Game.
Oh, Forged issue 5. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Zoe Thorogood Hack Slash.
Yeah, I like that Tim Seeley cover. And by that I mean the first Tim Seeley cover. I like all the Tim Seeley. Is that Michonne on that one?
Oh, yeah, kind of look kind of an essence of that, doesn't it?
Hexagon Bridge number 1 did really well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it did.
So here's issue 2, so that's going to be a big deal. Issue 2, primarily one of the most underordered of all books in a series.
Zoe Thorogood's a hit girl right now, but the property is pre-existing, so I don't know that there can be much heat there.
Yeah. Saga 66 went to a second print. That's awesome.
There's Kill Your Darlings also doing a Walking Dead homage.
Yeah, we got like a 20th anniversary, it looks like.
Yeah, Click Click Boom doing one. Yeah, so that Michonne homage you saw was probably accurate.
Yeah.
Local Man's doing one. Those are fun.
Yeah, Time Before Time doing one.
I mean, 2017 Drew would be all over these.
2023 Drew is out of room.
Yeah, and out of patience with Walking Dead cash grabs.
All right, I'm popping over to Previews World to look at some other things. Clicking on that Boom title and seeing that Rare Flavors number 1 also went to a second printing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And that was the one with the demonic Rakshasa that you and I were talking about.
Not enough to pick it, though.
Correct. Down into Marvel. Daredevil number 1 going to a second print as well. And Daredevil number 1 having a second print 25 copy incentive. Those, while I'm never going to recommend a second print 25, I've seen them spiking. So just FYI.
Yeah.
If you find it for less than you think it should be, snag her up.
I'm looking at the Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood number 1 Bjorn Barons. Oh. But it's not his best. It's not his best.
No, but it's darn good.
It's darn good. And the other one is a Gabriel Dell'Olio, which is pretty good too. And this is Garth Ennis doing Marvel Zombies. So
okay, that should be well done.
So it should be well done. I wonder how much of the book he gets. You just get like a third of it, and the Varios take over, or I'm not sure.
Star Wars Dr. Aphra gets a Maul cover. I love me some Maul, so I'm always going to point that out. Uncanny Spider-Man is where we get the Nightcrawler version of Spider-Man. I'm still weirded out by that. So
yeah, it is weird. I don't even know if I'll probably want to read that. Feels like a what if, right?
It does. It really does. From American mythology, we have Al Capone Vampire, #1. What if Al Capone was a vampire?
There you go. Just throw some ideas in a blender, see what pops out, and we'll do that. Is that Mad Cave?
The Chicago
American
mythology. Wow. Mythology. So Bad Omens Concrete Jumble #1 goes to a second print from Massive. That's very cool.
Okay.
From the band Bad Omens, I like them.
Oh, okay. Didn't recognize that.
And I like when these guys do this whole, we're going to do a comic based on our album concept.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Maybe it's a second chance for me to look at that hack slash because I really love the cover.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's Hexagon Bridge again.
I really love it. Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. Is that one you picked back in the day?
I did. I like that one.
The first issue, maybe? Yeah, so like half of these images. I guess that makes sense. So that Money Shot #5, is that that's a Dazzler homage, right?
That's exactly what I just clicked on. Yep. She's hot right now.
Good idea.
From Vault Comics, Something Crawled Out #1 by M-Sun.
Okay.
Something Wicked Crawled Out Screaming.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a horror book, I'm guessing. The devil himself.
The Man from Maybe is a Oni Press book by Jordan Thomas and Shaky Kane doing art. He's doing interiors. That's cool.
Man, this one's going to be tough for me. I didn't really see anything that jumped off the page.
Yeah. I have a few options, I think, but
then I will let you go first because I am scrambling.
I'm torn. I think I'm torn between the Marvel Zombies. Mm-hmm. That's a pre-existing property. The Hack Slash, which is a pre-existing property, and a new one, The Man from Maybe, but it's an Oni book. And I don't know about the concept, how accessible it's going to be. I think I'm just going to go with Hack Slash Back to School, the Zoe Thorogood cover. She's hot. People are after her stuff, so I think that might be it.
Very nice, very nice. Interesting.
Didn't you say that you were you said the book of the week was the Batman versus Godzilla versus, or no, Justice League versus Godzilla versus, was that facetious?
It was a little facetious, but like it might be very popular because
it is Jim Lee.
It is Jim Lee, and you have it's nothing to say that those are both independently all very popular.
Yeah.
And Jim Lee's got the cardstock cover.
Yeah, and there's Dan Mora.
I love the Dan Mora 1 in 25. That's really good. Let's do it. Justice League, King Kong, Godzilla, cover B.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice, even though it's $6. It's a pretty cool cover. Yeah, I like it. All right, let's see what our good friends at CBSI have to say.
CBSI, our comicbookinvest.com. We're going to look at their Hot 10. The Hot 10 from September 22nd.
That's today.
That's today. And
yesterday, if you're listening.
We have Wolverine 37 promo, Drew. Promo.
Okay.
The surprise release has already had over 120 sales this week in the $50 to $80 range. Lots of excitement for Capullo's return to Marvel. This polybagged version of his regular cover variant was a free promo given to shops from their distributors. While many list this as a one per store, that may not be 100% accurate, as there are multiple distributors these days with Pingdon, Diamond, and Lunar, and I know a shop that got one from two of those distributors.
Okay.
So whereas we used to do the one per store math, that may be a little more difficult. Drew, did you know that Fish Flies #2 was recalled?
No, I did not.
It's, of course, the Jeff Lemire book from Image. This is an odd one. We've seen recalls before, but there have been over 30 sales this week across both covers for this comic that Image asked retailers to destroy due to a duplicated page printed inside. Cover A was by Lemire, while cover B was done by Kelly Jones. Copies started around cover but quickly jumped to around $20 each, with sets selling for as much as $50, giving you both. Be careful spending too much on these error-type books, because even though Image asked for copies to be destroyed as replacements are on the way, how many retailers actually destroy these?
Well, we know some retailers that told us directly they do not.
Correct. At rank 3, we have Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder #3, the 1 in 25 Sanford Green cover. Over a dozen sales of this 1 in 25 incentive by Sanford Green that just catches the eye. We love the design and the look of this one personally, though. We didn't get one. Prices have been mostly around the $40 to $50 range, with a recent high sale of about $70. We'll see how this one goes over the next week if it settles.
Eric, some razor burn looks like.
Yeah.
That's not attractive at all. What's going on?
The realism. At rank 4, we have Heart Attack #1. We talked about this earlier. A lot of volume here, as there were more than 50 sales last week. Most were at the end of last week for cover or less, but it has hit highs of $10 to $15, and a CGC 9.8 did go for over $100. This appears to be based on the recent option announcement for a possible TV series for this Skybound book. At rank 5, from Dark Horse, the old Star Wars Legacies, Heir to the Empire #1, about 30 sales this week, has this back on the list. But now you've seen that Thrawn has finally shown up in Disney Plus, and what an entrance that was. CGC 9.8's hit a high this week of $950. A couple CGC 9.6 is sold for $285 and $350 on best offers. $250 additionally for some 2.6 newsstands were accepted. $580 offer was for one that was originally $620 as an ask. A raw newsstand also sold for $420 with over 20 bids. Seems like the Thrawn excitement is back, baby. At rank 6, Uncanny X-Men 266, 40 sales. Everybody's waiting for Gambit. Mid to high grades, still selling around 100 to 120 for a CGC 9.8.
Did you glitch?
So that was for Rawls, and CGC 9.8 had over a half dozen sales this week with a high of 825. That was up from only having 3 sales last week, closer to 700. Be careful of the facsimile reprints out there, as it can be tricky if you don't know what to look for. The facsimiles have the newer, smaller barcode and a modern cover price. Blah.
I mean, you can tell facsimiles because they're $3.99, right?
Yeah, they'll have the $3.99 cover price. Correct.
I mean, that's kind of easy, actually.
Well, but I'm sure there are people that are putting these up on eBay, not saying facsimile.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, back in the day, second
caveat emptor.
Second prints were written on they looked exactly like the first prints, except if you opened it up and looked on the indicia inside, and it would say second printing. Mm-hmm. But there was no other way to tell. That was confusing.
Yes.
This is, easy peasy.
Nice callback to the word indicia.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. At rank 7, Wolverine 36. Sorry, small coughing fit.
He really loves Wolverine.
Another more than 60 sales this week across the 3 regular covers available for this book. As folks are still looking ahead to the second print, more and more copies are coming to the market. We are seeing some cheaper sales around double cover this week, along with a couple new high sales around $20. Cover sets are also moving to around $30. Not a huge jump in price, but the volumes can't be ignored, so that's why this hangs on to a spot on the list. Once again, the Stegman appears to be the favorite for collectors. At rank out, we have Moon Knight #1. This one was on the outside looking in last week, but with another 30 or more sales, we have a spot on the list for Mr. Mark Spector before he cashes out. By now, you know that MK is going to die in his current series and be replaced, but that hasn't stopped collectors from going back to his first solo title. Raw newsstands are hitting $75, and CGC 9.8s are back over $300, while 2 weeks ago they were down to $225. Spider-Gwen Annual #1, the 1 in 100 Ji-Hyun Lee, climbing its way back onto the list after 10 sales this week. After only 3 last week, this high ratio 1 in 100 variant continues to be a book collectors will pull their wallets out for. Raws have now exceeded $200. Someone even pre-sold a CGC 9.8 for $375. I thought we hit the ceiling 2 weeks ago, but perhaps this can climb even higher. From Adam Hughes, we have Werewolf by Night #1, the 1 in 50. Creeping in at the bottom of the list this week is Adam Hughes' Virgin 1 in 50 incentive. About 10 sales this week, moving up to $75 to $95. It's not often a book like this starts moving the week after, but last week on release, there were only 3 and the prices were close to ratio. This one also on the outside looking in last week as well, but has it hit its ceiling? It feels like it might, but we've been wrong before. And now into our notable sales or our honorable mentions prior. Drew, it's Superman 10 newsstand. You and I love this cover. This Patrick Gleason cover.
Oh, yeah.
Those Rebirth era newsstands are not easy to find, especially in 2017 as they came to an end. This week had a $450 sale for one in a CGC 9.8. The Super Sons are still a big deal among collectors, so a rarity like this is not surprising to command a big premium, as regular 9.8s are only around $140.
Forgot about this newsstand business.
Yeah.
That was a big deal for some of those.
Absolutely. Mask Comics #1, a CGC 2.0, Drew. LB Cole on the cover of this one. Another pre-code horror sale sets records. An all-time high sale in this grade at $12,600 and up a good deal from the last 2.0 sale of $7,300 back in 2022 has made us take notice. There may have been some bigger sales this week, but the jump in price on this low-grade copy is definitely worth noting, while other PCHs will start moving up on this seemingly rising tide.
Man, I wish I would have bought pre-code horror.
Yeah, no kidding.
I would have been cool to have some of that stuff, man. I mean, I would have looked right over this stuff. I would have never even glanced at it. That's nuts. Shows what I know.
We'll get there one day, Drew. All right, let's head on over to Lunar Distributions. We'll start on things releasing the 26th and go through our DC stuff before bouncing around to try to find some Image titles.
But nothing on the 25th. On the 26th, right? 26th.
26th is Tuesday. 27th is Wednesday.
You don't need 25th.
25th I am unaware of.
There was a button there. I just don't know why I was pushing it. There was nothing there. Yeah. So we can't add any more days, release days.
Correct.
We lose it. Gotham War, Red Hood. Gonna have fun with those covers.
Yeah. Flash #1.
Ooh, who's that? Mike Perkins is good. I like that detective. Yeah, Flash. First Flash is out. The Mike Deodato.
Mm-hmm. Green Arrow for the Kendrick Kunka Lim cardstock variant is a very good cover.
Harley Quinn's got a handful.
Power Girl #1. There is a Sozo Miyakia cardstock variant. I love it. Sozo Miyakia is awesome.
Most of these are pretty good.
Yeah.
Isn't Warren Lau Art Germ's name?
No.
It's Art Germ. Oh, Stanley. He's
Stanley Lau.
Art.
Stanley now.
Stanley Art.
What if they're related?
Yeah.
Doom Patrol, Wildcats, yeah.
Heading to the 27th. Firepower 27.
Ghosted Compendium. We liked that book, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Very much so. From Artists, Writers, and Artisans, Drew. Rumpus Room, #1, your Mark Russell book.
Oh, yeah. Another Mark Russell.
This is the tech billionaire who needs to, like, use face cream made from dead people or whatever.
Oh, yep. Void Rivals. I can't wait to see what's going on in that one.
That could be my pick every week.
It is fun.
World Tree #1, 5th print. World Tree #2, 4th print. 3, 3rd print. 4, 2nd print.
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't even read that book. I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give Tinian enough credit, I guess. I mean, I don't think I read all of Something is Killing the Children. I think I dropped off that early.
Drew, can you answer a question for me?
I can, sure.
If we go over to Previews World and we see in the image section that Saga 66 is coming out Wednesday.
Yes.
But has already been solicited for a 2nd print on the FOC.
Interesting.
So is that because why?
I don't know, man.
I mean, should we just assume we have to buy it then?
I guess. It must be, there's something going on, right?
Yeah. Same thing with Rare Flavors #1. Unless I'm on the wrong day. Oh, I am on the wrong day. Never mind. Now we're good. Never mind.
Okay.
I was curious there.
Stuff of Nightmares #1. Red Murders. That's a Francavilla cover. And they also have an homage that I don't recognize. I don't really recognize who that homage is, but it's an R.L. Stine written book, and those haven't been great.
Yeah, so far none have popped.
None have really popped. But I like what he's trying to do. Marvel's giving us a bunch of Venom stuff.
Mm-hmm. Death of the Venomverse. So here's that whole wraparound. Invincible Iron Man, #10, Bob Layton wraparound variant. That's really,
that's the one.
really...
That's the one you really like.
Yeah, that's the one I like. Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's just a straight up independently orderable?
Yep. Legacy 660, #10. That's all. That's really good.
I don't even think you picked that during FOC, though. You marveled at it, but...
Yeah. I just
no pun
love
intended.
It. Marvel. I see what you did there. Moon Knight, City of the Dead, 3 of 5. Star Wars Doctor A for 36 with an Ahsoka cover. Mandalorian Season 2, #4 with the Grogu Macaroons cover. First appearance of Macaroons.
First appearance of the Macaroons. I love it. And our smaller publishers, which also have some of our bigger publishers in now.
Our more medium are publishers.
Yeah. Frank Cassetta Death Dealer. Those are always cool looking. Grandma Tilly's Helltech Mech. A Band of Bards. Kaiju Cooking one shot.
That's right. Rat Queen, Sister Warriors Queens one shot. $8 10th anniversary special. Curtis Weeby, Rock Upchurch. The epic conclusion to an incredible 10-year run of the award-winning series Rat Queens.
You picked it during FOC. Are you allowed? Yeah. Are you allowing yourself to pick it again?
No, you'll yell at me. But I want to shout it out and make it known that you need to pick it up.
Shout it out loud. Tales from the Cave one shot is like a Mad Cave primer of all their upcoming stuff, or just a collection of anthology books. That's probably what it is. Ooh, Ribbon Queen. Ribbon Queen's been pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that one.
USAGI YOJIMBO Ice and Snow #1 by Stan Sakai.
Is that Scotty Young doing a cover of
No.
USAGI?
No.
Like a different Young. Yeah, it's Scotty.
Oh, is it?
That is Scotty Young doing a regular cover. No gimmicks. Kind of cool. I wonder how that would go over with. I mean, I guess people most of the time go for the Sakai cover, but that's kind of an interesting cover.
Very, very well done too.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting. Drawing me in.
But Drew, is it drawing you in enough for it to be your pick of the week? What is your book to go to your LCS and make sure you get?
Well, I can't take things that you might pick. So there's a couple things that you might pick. So I'm going to steer away from.
Do you want me to just go first?
You can go first.
Invincible Iron Man #10, wraparound cover.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you were going to take that one. And since we did that Rat Queens thing a couple of weeks ago, I think I will go with that USAGI.
Hey, there we go. Scotty Young and all of his adult rabbit glory.
I think that's kind of neat and unique, and it might get some people. It's a #1, but I mean, USAGI's been around forever. But I do like what they're doing there. So we'll see.
Well, we thank you for tagging along with Drew and myself through our sneak peek at next week. We appreciate you and all that you do. Head on over to patreon.com. Find comics for fun and profit. Throw a couple of bucks in our general direction. Get access to exclusives, ad-free, and all the fun chicanery that we do on the sides. For Drew and for myself, see you.
As you know, our LCS is Cowabunga Comics, Lake Country, Wisconsin's best pop culture destination for new comics, back issues, gaming, retro video games, vinyl, and figures. Give them a call, 262-569-9999. Check them out online at cowabungacomics.com or follow them on Twitter at Incredicow. They are our LCS, and we utilize their deep discount mail order service to bring Oconomowoc, Wisconsin closer to us. They'll take care of you. Tell them Drew and Kyle sent you. Say hi to Eric and James from us. If you need an LCS, you can't go wrong with Cowabunga Comics.